What's up, y'all? We are here for our manifestation message for the week. I've got a crackling woodwick candle going. So if you're like, what is that gurgling sound? That's what it is. I just wanted to pop on here real quick, and I was thinking about our reading tonight, and I was like, we really shouldn't pull oracle cards, because the real way to unlock miracles this week is literally making the connection during Passover. And so if you're seeing this, it's probably either late Tuesday night or sometime on Wednesday. And so if you're seeing this in time, Wednesday, April 1st, starting at sundown, begins the week of Passover. And Passover lasts a week long, or it's like 7 or 8 days. You might want to just like do a quick Google search to see like what it is officially. I need to do that myself. I think it's a full 8 days, but I might be wrong. But it'll start tomorrow night. And so basically Passover is a week where there is like this cosmic window open in the up in the heavens, up in the upper realms, and there is a specific attribute of light of the Creator that's available to us during this particular time that's not available any other time of year. And this is the brightest, most intense, saturated, jam-packed, turbocharged light that we can connect to all year long. In fact, every holiday, every festival, every Shabbat that is in the Jewish tradition is in memory of the Exodus, of Passover. And so this is basically the first time that the Israelites had a personal encounter with their God. And they hadn't even gotten the Torah yet, right? So as a people, they were like, a tribal people who had, a tradition passed down verbally, and it was, Abraham's wisdom passed down through his lineage. And so this was the beginning of the Torah that was given to the Israelites, and the beginning of their personal, officialized relationship, their covenant with God, not just as a distant, abstract influence, but someone who grew, came close to them and came to save them, and began that sort of like personal father-mother relationship with the Israelites, with the people, with us. So this light this week that's available is more miraculous than any other time of year. Now, if you wanted to actually participate in the Seder meal, you could go out tomorrow and collect these groceries, which you would need like a lamb bone, so you could get some lamb chops and do a slow roast and grab your lamb bone for the Seder plate. You need bitter herbs, which are horseradish. You would need eggs for 1 hard-boiled egg per person. Some parsley that you would dip into salt water, and I recommend, King David salt, because that's in the kosher food section. You need lettuce. I always get romaine lettuce for this. And then a fruit blend and walnuts. So the fruit blend with the walnuts is like symbolic of the mortar. And the bitter herbs, it's like the bitterness of slavery. The salt water represents the tears of the Israelites and their suffering. And so you can do, like I said, a basic Google search and get the detailed meanings of each of these. It would take us a really long time to go into depth, and I still have a lot of Passover cleaning to do tonight. Part of the preparations is that you want to remove all of the bread, any grains, beer, whiskey, anything that has like wheat or barley or any of those grains, rice. I threw the lentils in with my big bag, and you're really not supposed to leave it in your car. It's not supposed to be in your possession, but I don't have anywhere to put it, and I'm too poor to throw all my food away. So I put it in my car, and then you clean your house really good to make sure there's no like breadcrumbs left behind. And then for the rest of the week, you abstain from eating any kind of bread, any kind of grain. And the reason being is because the yeast in the bread, the leavened bread, causes the bread to rise. And that represents how when God gives you like an inspired message to like take an action, we often feel really excited about it at first, but then if we don't do it quickly, there's a pause, there's a hesitation. And then our ego comes in and it either, kind of keeps us in our comfort zone by second guessing ourselves, or kind of it justifies, why I was just imagining that, like, it's not really, I shouldn't take that action. And so the ego comes up and gets in the way. It severs your action. You're leaving Egypt, right? And so you have to do it quick. You have to move quick before the bread has time to rise. Take the dough in the kneading bowl and hit the road. Like, we don't have time to sit down and eat dinner kind of thing. So it's like about when you have that inspiration upon you to have the courage to act quickly before your fear and your doubt and your sense of lack and your limiting beliefs come in, or even just kind of wanting to stay in the comfort zone that you're familiar with. That's often tempting too. The Israelites, even after they left Egypt and went, had the seas part for them and got on the other side of it and saw those miracles, they still were consumed with fear and doubt about how they would make it in the wilderness, and they wanted to go back. So that is what the bread stands for. It's the ego that puffs up, and sometimes it's an ego that tells us that we're big, we've got this, we have everything under control. I don't need the creator. I can do it on my own, which usually ends up leading to burnout and falling short or not being able to persevere and finish. Whereas, the other, aspect of the ego kind of comes in and says, who am I to do this? I'm not good enough. I can't do this without, I can't do this. I'm not, equipped. And so the Goldilocks zone is to say, I'm confident that the creator is going to give me the strength and the courage and the wisdom and the resources that I need to carry out the plans that are laid out for me. And I can't do it on my own, but I'm going to do everything that I can in my power to give it all my heart and soul and mind and strength. And I know that God will carry me the rest of the way. So this can be intimidating to participate in a holiday like this when you never have. And several years ago, when I started observing the Jewish holidays, I didn't know how to do it, or I wasn't equipped. I had no idea what was going on, or, I just had a vague understanding of what the holiday meant. And I had a little bit of in-depth understanding about the spiritual nature and technology and purpose behind the holidays because I'd been, reading Zohar or, doing Zohar lessons and taking classes with the Kabbalah Center. But even before I got into the in-depth classes and courses, I just started kind of flirting with the Jewish holidays. And so even if you aren't able to stream it, there is, did I finish telling you guys about the foods? We started talking about the walnuts, and so the fruit blend has walnuts. I'm all over the place. So we have the bitter herbs, which are the horseradish, the shank bone on the plate. You got your fruit blend with walnuts that stands for the mortar. Your lettuce, you've got the parsley and the egg. And in addition to that, you'll have the matzah crackers. And you can get those boxes of matzah in the kosher food section of the grocery store. So basically what I was getting at is that if you want to stream this, you can go to onehouse.kabbalah.com and you can go to holidays. There might be on their front page of the website, a clickable link to go ahead and stream the live broadcast. But you'll be looking specifically for the East Coast broadcast with Monica and Michael Berg. And that'll probably start around sundown Eastern Standard Time. So usually around 6 or 7 it'll begin. So you might want to look at that early in the day if you plan to do that. You can set up a free account on the Kabbalah Center website just using your email. But if you want to become a full member, it's like $49.99 a month for like, if you want to do the whole like month by month, but not pay the year ahead. And I have never regretted it. And through that, with that $49.99, you can like usually sign up for any one of the Kabbalah classes. Kabbalah 1 through 10 are usually free if you have a membership. And then sometimes they'll have specialized workshops that might cost money, but you'll get a discount if they do. And on the holidays, you can stream, like pay what you can usually, because they usually have to rent some big place and like it costs them a lot to do that. And they usually don't break even on it. So you can pay what you can. It could be $1 if, you just have $1. But it is worth it. It's so much fun. It's like several hours long. So, and don't feel like it, again, it's intimidating because the people on the stage are like praying and it's all going really fast and you're like scanning the letters and you're trying to read along and you feel like you don't understand what's happening, but just making that effort gets you into the connection and hearing the Hebrew, the Aramaic being read and scanning those Hebrew letters and even just attempting to read along does so much. Now, if you don't end up trying to stream the event, and again, I don't think that you have to pay for a membership to stream the event. It's just like a pay what you can for like guests. But if you can't stream the event and you don't have a way to like participate in an official like ritual like that, then even just knowing that day that you're setting aside this special time to have like your consciousness connected. And if you want to, spend time in contemplative, connection and prayer and meditation and thinking about what is your Egypt? What keeps you bound? Is it fears? Is it unforgiveness? Is it bitterness? Is it doubts, worry, all of the above? Like, what is it that keeps you held and bound? Are there physical ailments that you want to heal from? Are there addictions or habits that you want to break, or patterns that you are trying to disrupt and rewrite in your neural plasticity, in your nervous system? Are there subconscious belief systems that you want to overcome, like that you're aware of, but you just keep going through these patterns, even though you're aware of them? It's like your subconscious, you haven't been able to resolve that yet on a deep level. So bring those into your consciousness and into your prayers tomorrow, and maybe spend some time journaling. Maybe go on a long walk where you're really like in, quiet contemplation and a walking meditation. Maybe take a ritual bath, right? Maybe, do like a ritual cleaning of your house early in the day. And as you're cleaning, as you're scrubbing, think about, and pray. Like this morning I was praying, I was like scrubbing my kitchen and I'm like, please help me, release my doubts that I will never get the things that I hope for, and please help me let go of the fear that what I have will be lost, and please help me overcome this feeling that I won't have enough, or that I won't be able to be enough, and all of those things. So even just making that connection in your heart and setting aside some time to do something special is a good way to start. Now, if you were, say, like further along in your studies and in your process, and you were just like, oh, I'm just going to phone it in and do my own thing on Passover, like that's like saying like, I have the ability to do better, but I just didn't perform. So it's a little different. But as you're beginning, just having a sincere heart and making the effort will start it out, and you'll get almost like a beginner's bonus boost for it. Because I remember the first couple of years that I was starting to observe these holidays, I was on set on a show, and it was like 13, 14-hour days. So, and I couldn't take off work because it was like I was like irreplaceable. Sorry, it's just too important. No, that's not true at all. But you can't really take off work when you're on a crew like that, unless you have somebody to replace. Long story, logistics. So I was just trying to take some time through the day to scan, the Zohar and read Zohar from, just online, and keep my consciousness on the fact that that was a special holy holiday and that I was downloading that energy, the best I could as a beginner, and God met me in that. And so it seemed like that opened up so many gates to begin the process of transformation and understanding, and really, falling in love with the holiday rituals and embracing all of it. And so I highly encourage you. Again, this is a week where you really can connect to the kind of miraculous light, especially on the first night, on the Seder night, that will stick with you through the year. It's like putting your solar panels out to charge the battery banks, getting like miraculous light into your battery banks. And like, the teachers of the Kabbalah Center will tell you that, yes, you capture all this light that first night and you're in it, and it's like it's bright light, so bright that your negativity doesn't even exist. It doesn't work against you that day because the light is so overwhelming. But the next day, you kind of go back to normal and you kind of go back, your negativity sneaks up on you again. But the good thing is that you still have the residue of all that light. It's like when it talks about how when Moses was going up to Mount Sinai and being in the presence of God, he would come back down and he would have a glowing face, right? He'd have residue of the Creator that would stick with him. Even though he was coming back down to earth, back down to the mundane, the griping and the bickering amongst the people and having to deal with the mundane day in and day out. It's not like when you're up at there with the sapphire ground, with in the presence of the Almighty. Of course, that's so elevated, and you have you're in this powerful radiance, but then you come back down and you're like, well, business as usual, shitter's full, but you still have the glowing face, right? So think about that. Even, you're not going to be perfect starting the next day, but you think about that. You have drawn in that power and that energy and that grace and that presence that will be with you through your challenges through the rest of the year. So again, if you can, I highly suggest going to onehouse.kabbalah.com. Go to the events and holidays. You will look in the search bar if there's not already an obvious link to live stream the East Coast broadcast. You'll go into the search bar under events and holidays and you'll look up Passover Seder, get the East Coast broadcast with Monica and Michael Berg. It'll probably be a pay what you can, pay $1, whatever you want. You don't have to just pay $1, but if you're into dire straits, $1 is enough. If you have more, give more. And then that will give you a link to the live stream, or that'll pop right up. And a lot of times it kind of can get sticky. So just redo the what's it called in the search bar, reload the page if you need to. But, yeah, so sometimes they have a little bit of a technical glitch. So if anything's weird or frozen or you're not seeing it happen, usually they have if the thing hasn't started yet, it'll just be a menu saver and some music will be playing or whatever, and it'll be starting shortly. But if you feel I feel like it's probably already started, just reload the page and sometimes it'll load for you. But yeah, so that's where you will find that. And if you don't have the availability, or you're feeling like that's not quite what you want to do yet, then I would say make it a personal ritual day for yourself. And if you can, go pick up some matzah crackers, because there is a spiritual technology in the matzah cracker itself. And it's not this way throughout the whole year, but because of this window is open in this particular time period, it's the matzah with the intention into it is activated, and it becomes this miraculous substance. And so if you're eating it, praying over it with intention, this can be very healing, either to like your physical body or to your spiritual needs, right? Or to, you know, personal transformation or revelation or breakthroughs that you're trying to make. Maybe you have some problems with, you know, relationships with certain characters in your life, and you can pray for those and be eating the matzah. And you want to eat it for all week. The more you eat, the better, right? The calories still count. Which is unfair because I like nothing packs on weight for me faster than just like white flour, like crackers and things like that. But you know, it's worth it. It will miraculously come off very quickly after the fact. But yeah, I hope that you guys participate. I will not be making a video tomorrow. The Passover Seder lasts several hours, like many hours, and it also requires that you, the other ingredient that you need for this is wine. Or if you're sober, you can do grape juice. But part of the meal of the ritual is to chug 4 glasses of wine at different points. And it's not like the meal itself isn't like eating a meal. It's like little ritual food. So you're starving, you're really getting shit-faced. So I am not going to be in any position to make a video tomorrow. But yes, so if you do the whole thing and you make your Seder plate, then I would say maybe if you have time beforehand, eat a snack. But I know, like, usually I'm so busy throughout the day that I never have time to eat because I usually do whatever it takes to like clean for the ritual for that day. I prep my food, like go out and like early, like get the rest of the groceries I need, come home, prep the food, get all that ready to like slow roast whatever I'm making. And then I usually try to take a nice little walk to like center myself before the ritual starts. And then I try to take a ritual bath shower to cleanse myself, get myself into like a ritual dress. So I feel like I'm donning some holy vestments and I'm ready to go. And then I'm ready to stream the broadcast. So it usually like is like down to the wire that I'm like running downstairs and like lighting my incense and lighting my candles right as like the thing's starting. So good luck tomorrow, guys. Chag Pesach. I'm very nonverbal this week. I've had like lingering migraine. Chag Pesach Sameach. Chag Sameach is happy holidays. Chag Pesach Sameach is happy Pesach holiday. So Pesach is Passover. All right, you all, that is all for tonight. I hope that this inspires you to even just set aside that time tomorrow, and then think about it as like sundown. All day tomorrow is special. Sundown starts the first official 24-hour period, so it's like sundown to sundown is technically like day 1. But yeah, I hope y'all have a nice holy week ahead. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back Thursday, Friday, and all that. All right. Chag Pesach Sameach. See you later. Ciao.